can often look at goals as a destination. Like, if I get money, then I'll be happy. Or if I get a hit, then I'll be confident. I just don't like where that's trending, because that's not trending towards the leveling up. And to truly level up, you gotta look at it more like a recycling bin, right? Or the logo at least. Except you can replace these with some strategies that you're gonna learn in this video, and then just keep the cycle moving. So this video was inspired by JC. And by the end of it, if you're inspired, then you gotta subscribe. Bet? I honestly thought I was gonna pass him at least. I'll use this. All right. Take two. So the first step to leveling up is to study the greats. Not just in baseball, but in other areas in life. So sure, getting the technique down is key, but I'm talking about other greats. Greats outside of your field and greats at their own craft. And one guy that comes to mind is Israel Adesanya. Current UFC middleweight champion, by the way. He's basically the epitome of rocking your shine. And here's what he had to say.
And I've asked people this, what does humble mean? And someone said, oh, you know, you just don't brag. I'm like, they just mean downplaying your success.
Yes.
You know, so if anyone like me rocks up and just, I'm owning it. I'm like, fuck
You're owning it. Yeah.
I'm the champ. I'm the man. I'm being the champ.
You're him.
And then they say, oh no, he's not humble. But I tell you,
everyone has their own insecurities, and some go as far as to project it onto others because of their confidence. So you might hear sometimes people say, oh, look at this guy, he's so arrogant, he's so cocky. But in reality, that's just their own insecurities, because they might not be as confident as this dude is. And if you're one of those guys that do get on people for being confident, then you're taking valuable self-focused time away from yourself because you're just focused on somebody else. Honestly, now I know what the hell Timo Cruz was talking about in Coach Carter.
To the OGs, I'm making you mad. Was watching you when you was paving the ground. I copied your cadence, I mirrored your style. I studied the grace, I'm the greatest right now.
Woo!
I'm more of a 6'9" guy.
Hey, yo. Oh man, the lens are all dirty. Hold on. That's better. The lens was a little dirty, but here we are, ready to hit. But before I do, I want to talk about one more great. That's Beyonce. There's a documentary on Netflix. Immense details about what it takes behind the scenes. So in this documentary, you see how much precise, detailed work goes behind the scenes in rehearsal. And along the way, there were calculated assessments, which is the second part of this learning curve. Throughout this documentary, you will see how she starts off slow and then continues to add responsibilities and challenges as her conditioning improves. And she'll continue to add challenges until eventually, months before the actual performance, they're performing on the actual stage, day in and day out during rehearsals. So it's safe to say she didn't jump in with the sharks on day one. And it's like that one person who is so excited to hit the gym that they go so hard on day one that they can't move for the next 3. Or the hitter who took time off and then steps in against the pitcher who's working their ass off during the offseason and then gets their ass handed to them. Assessments is basically just making sure that you're making your training sessions harder. So you're lowering the amount of swings, but you're raising your intensity. Because after all, hitting isn't cardio. Here the competition goes. As I said, you want to take calculated assessments, and here's one. OJ's throwing gas right now from like 3 feet away. So I'm going to take 5 more swings, solid game swings, and I'm going to just get as many absolute barrels as I can. That's what happens when you chase, guys. Don't chase. Let it come. baby. Here's the second one. Look at that.
Let's go, Peter Parker.
Now, this third tip, I like to call it a look in the mirror. So yes, you can sit down and answer these 2 questions I'm about to give you, but are you doing it in an honest way? I'm not questioning your character, but I want you guys to put in as much focus in this as you do anything else, because these 2 questions are really going to help you level up. Now, the questions goes as such. First one is going to be, what did I do good? Second one is going to be, what could I do better? Now, they sound like very simple questions, but take a look at this. And no, I don't hit every day. I don't think you have to, but that's another topic for another video. This one is what's important. Now, Grizzly, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to block your face. So I've been taking notes on my hitting, and obviously, you know, you only see 2 bullet points here, but that's because I just started this app. Don't judge me. I'm going to continue growing this page. But my point is, day 1, I recognized something, and then I changed it for day 2, and day 2 was where I implemented those adjustments, and as you can see, a lot of the scores has progressed. I thought I was just weak, but it was just one little thing with my back foot where it was almost overturning. It was overturning on day 1, but now in day 2, I try to implement more of a scissor kick to allow me to stay inside the ball a little more. But for right now, I want to tell you the importance of answering those questions, because if I didn't answer those questions, and if I didn't do my own film study, I would have continuously repeated the habit over and over and over, and I wasn't even conscious of it. Now, the beautiful part about this is that now we are aware, and that's step 1. You got to be aware of what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right as well, so that you can continue honing your strengths, but then attack your weaknesses and eventually make it your strength. So now use this as an example. Let's say day 1, you go in to hit, and you do answer that question, and you say, what could I do better? Maybe I can not chase pitches so much. I was swinging outside the zone. Boom, that's 1. Now day 2 comes, you write down that question again after your practice session, and you say, oh man, I was chasing again. Day 3 comes, I wasn't patient. Like, it's gonna add up, but at least now you're knowing, you're conscious, but now all that's left is to take action. So I have created a playlist for you guys of confidence videos and mental jewels tips that'll help you take over the diamond, because we all know that the season is around the corner. So if y'all not ready now, let's get to work and let's get ready. So now all these 3 things that we spoke about in this video, this is basically a system that guarantees that you continue moving forward. Now, the progress might be as big as you want it to be, but any progress is always good progress, and a little a day goes a long way. And this is also the approach I've used for video creation. If you take a look back at my first video, it's gonna be tough for you to sit through it, but I'm kidding. Don't really click off. YouTube likes it when you watch the whole video, so watch the whole video. Watch all the videos. Now, I asked one of my guys, Evan, to do this, and what he did was he actually got his own notebook and is keeping a log with these questions, which, as you can see, the difference between what it was and then a week of practicing this one technique, you can see a night and day difference, and that's because now he's aware of where his weaknesses are. I mean, the idea of learning from other people that are good at what they do, learning a little bit about what's going on in their head, and then implementing some of that into your life. Obviously, you don't want to mimic and emulate any one person. You would take certain things from different people that work for you and then just discard the rest. And eventually, you should be able to put your skills to the test and then just recap everything and make sure that you are aware of your weaknesses so that you don't repeat them over and over. And so you can just move on. So I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. Hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe and be a part of the squad. And hit that bell so you be notified every time we drop a video. And all these videos are dedicated to help you become a better athlete on the diamond. So with that being said, y'all know what time it is.